Fun question to start here. So Abigail is a ballerina vampire.
Uh-huh.
If you two were vampires and they were defined by your favorite hobby, what kind of vampire would you be?
Oh.
Favorite hobby?
Ooh. Wow.
Mine would be tennis.
You'd be a tennis-playing vampire?
I'd be a tennis-playing
You
vampire.
could be a team with Kathryn. She's a golf vampire, and you could start like a country club together.
There we go.
Yeah.
There we go. You know? And everybody comes visit, so we constantly fed.
I'll come visit that.
I think I would start a bloodthirsty gym where it was a bunch of buffed out vampires because I love to lift heavy things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, bloodthirsty gym.
Bloodthirsty gym.
What do you think?
I think it'd be great.
Sold. I'm signing up for both right now. So you're your first client. Here's a big, broad question about making this movie, a two-parter. When you first sign on for Abigail, what part of the process of making a horror movie like this were you most looking forward to? But then I also want to know something that happened along the way that was unexpected, that wound up being more creatively fulfilling than you could have imagined.
What I was looking forward to is my first one into the horror universe. And so I was very excited about that. And then just watching Angus work, you know, and just his improv skills and how he would just be on the bike and doing his thing and then meeting all these guys. And it was just such a joy to be a part of. So that was really like an exciting moment to be welcome into that universe.
When I watched Ready or Not, I seeked out Matt and Tyler. I was like, who the hell are these guys? How did they pull that off on that budget? How did they do that? And so when I read the script, I was like, oh my God, this is like, and now they have more toys to play with. Imagine what they could do, what they could pull off. Mm-hmm. So that got me there. The most unexpected thing was the joy and the laughter that I experienced. I think that we all experienced the connections. Mm-hmm. You know, we all became friends. You know, we made some new best friends. And you know, just and falling in love with Ireland.
Yeah, Ireland was
so it was just, and then at the end of the day, after all of that, you get to sit down in the theater and watch. Like, I mean, I love this movie. Like, I truly loved it. If I wasn't in this movie, I would be so jealous that I'm not in this movie. So we're in this movie.
There it is.
You should be very proud. I specifically want to ask you about working with Kathryn because the connection between your characters was easily one of the biggest highlights of this film. What is something about her as a scene partner that you really appreciated and maybe helped you crush a tough scene that you couldn't have without her?
It's just fun. She's like, she's been doing this since she was 4. So, you know, she sent us a picture of her in the makeup chair when she was like 5 or 6, and she looked identical. It was just a little smaller. So, you know, it was like getting into the ring with another old pro, even though she's like half my age. So it was just so easy and effortless and playful. So every take we just went with it and saw what just mined for stuff, and stuff would come up. And it was great. I'm so grateful.
Follow up on that. I don't know how much you remember with clarity, but is there any particular thing you two did where it was like swinging for the fences? You thought to yourself, they're never going to use it, and now it's the finished film.
Between her and I, or just
maybe anything. I'll broaden it to everything.
You know, I just kind of, I was swinging for the fences, and I always kind of, you know that saying, it's kind of horrible, but you know, you throw the poop at the wall, see what sticks. I like to throw a lot of poop at the wall, and they were like, no, keep all the poop on the wall. Yeah. And I was like, wow, because I'll swing hard. And so like the screams when I was afraid, and the absolute terror that he was feeling, even though he's this giant, muscular. It was just. I was so happy they stayed with it. So happy.
feel like it didn't have to be poop. It could have been throw everything at the wall and see what sticks. But now I'm going to repeat what you just said casually, and someone's going to look at me like, why would you say that?
Yeah, I usually say shit, but
But
I'm
you're gonna use poop.
but you could use poop.
I'm glad you cursed before I did.
Yeah,
I
you
don't
know
have
what
to
I'm
feel bad
saying?
about
There
it.
we go. Yeah.
All right, well, you're getting like my obnoxious theory questions with your character, and I'm gonna like lift the spoiler warning for this video so you can
Okay.
talk about it freely. So it is abundantly clear that Rickles and Joey have some sort of history in the
Yes.
movie, but we don't ever get to learn what that is. Did you ever talk with Melissa, Matt, and Tyler about what that backstory is and why they trust each other?
No, we didn't talk about it. I think the history is when you meet somebody for the first time and then there's a spark. You know everything that you need to know, even though you don't know them. And I think Rickles feels that way and Joey feels that way. And so we just play into it and it works really well.
You feel it when you're watching it because I feel like his loss and his absence, for that to scare me after that amount of screen time is very impressive.
Yeah.
I have a feeling the answer to this might be no as well, but later on in the movie, we learn what thing earned everyone their spot in Abigail's game. Do you know what he did to piss them off and get in the house?
You know, I don't know.
You can make up whatever you want.
Yeah, but I would like to know. You know what I mean? I would like to know, but I'm sure it's something, we talk about Abigail as being the monster and the vampire, but there's a monster in each and every character that is in this film. And so I want to know what was that skeleton in my closet that I buried that now it's coming back up. Because she says, you all were brought here.
Yeah.
You didn't kidnap me.
Yeah.
I kidnapped you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You're like, what?
So that's frightening in itself.
Keeps us on our toes.
Yeah.
For both of you, again, spoiler alert is up, so you could talk about this freely. If your characters were offered the same deal as Dan's character is, where someone says you could become a vampire, and you're not a puppet vampire, you have full control, do you think they would take the deal?
100%. Absolutely. Pete was ready to abandon everybody. He's just trying to figure out how to get out of there. And, he's terrified.
Not Sammy, though.
He is so scared. He wants to figure out how to get Sammy out, and he likes Joey too. He doesn't like, he doesn't like Dan's character very much, but yeah, I mean, absolutely, and the promise of immortality. I mean, how excellent is that? And she flies. Do I get to fly too?
Yeah, that's true.
How about you?
Well, I think like Dan, it's principles, and Giancarlo's broke the principle. So that's why it's like, you're going to bite me and I'm going to turn, but I'm only turning to bite you. So I think, as a military background for Rickles, I think he will be thinking along the same lines.
Ooh, I would believe that. I believe that. I have to wrap with you in a minute. I'm going to wrap with one upcoming project question. We always do this, and I look at everyone's IMDb. And Kevin, something for you caught my eye because you were listed as a potential director on this movie, the hockey player, and also you co-wrote it with one of my favorite genre filmmakers, Adam McDonald.
Yeah.
So, that could be a really exciting thing for you. Is that something that has hope of moving forward in the near future?
Yeah, absolutely. We're looking to shoot in the new year. It's something that I've actually been writing. I first sat down to start writing about 14 years ago. Adam came on a couple of years ago to help me with a couple of aspects, and then I've done several rewrites since then. So, I'm starting the process. We're prepping and getting ready to make my first film.
I love hearing that. I'm rooting for you. I'm always rooting for him. I could watch Pyewacket and Backcountry over and over and over again.
Thank you so much.
And Abigail too.
And I read Hockey Player.
Did you read that?
Phenomenal.
Oh.
I'd believe it.
Yeah, phenomenal.
I'd believe it.
Yeah.
I've got all the faith in the world.
Yeah.
I'll say thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.